So welcome everybody to the second hour of Munchifters Radio, and today is Friday, October the 13th, 2023, and our call-in number is 563-999-3581, and press 1, and that puts you into queue to talk to us, and we would love to hear your comments and questions, your show. And while we're waiting on Michael to dial in, I looked up the song by McLean on Vincent and the lyrics to it, and talks about, you took your life as lovers often do, but I could have told you, Vincent, this world was never meant for one as beautiful as you. Starry, starry night. Portraits hung in empty halls, frameless heads on nameless walls, with eyes that watch this world and can't forget. Like the strangers that you've met, the ragged men in ragged clothes, a silver thorn of bloody rose, lie crushed and broken on the virgin snow. Now I think I know what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, and how you tried to set them free, but they would not listen. They're not listening still. Perhaps they never will. You're going to do that for me. I'm going to do this. Powerful, powerful words. And so we appreciate you being with us today. And we did have a global book club last night. I don't have the link yet. I'll have that on the website as soon as Yinka sends it to me. And she said that there's something going on 26th. I think her kids are out of school or something for fall break. Anyway, so there will not be a book club on October the 26th. I'll get that change made on the website here just momentarily. And so we're glad to have you with us. If you're on a station where we can't see you in the chat room or on the switchboard, our caller number again is 563-999-3581. And press 1 and a little hand goes up, and I know you want to talk. And we would love for the conversation to go in the direction that you would like to see us go. So ask your question. Certainly helps. And we are here to support you. And if we don't know how you need support, then we're kind of at a loss there. We just have to go monologue. Hopefully you gather the jewels that are presented through the monologue. But if you have a question or have a challenge or need support, that is why we're here. So press 1. And I'm not sure Michael's outside, so hopefully he has paid attention to the timing and will be getting in with us. Continue to hold the space for Bob in Australia. He joins us usually, and he hadn't been with us for a while, but he's having some physical challenges. So hold us in his direction to Australia. And there's Michael's coming in now, so all righty. He's going to be dialing in. He was out in the garden. So, what can we help support you? Chat room that have been with us continually, and we're thankful for you all to be here with us. And like I said, we've made a few changes on the website, so go to whyagain.org and look around. And if you find something that's not working, please drop me a line. So, 563-999-3581 and press so. Okay, I guess I get to do a monologue until he gets in. If you weren't with us earlier this week, we did get changes made to the Google app. We'll be making the same changes to the Apple iPhone app, and they're not actually changes to the app itself, so you may not even notice a difference. But they required us to update the app so that it's compatible with the latest operating system. And the end of the year, so if you need a charitable deduction for your taxes, you make that donation, drop me a line at Jeanie, Jeanie, @whyagain.org, and let me know so I can get a receipt to you to help you out in that perspective. So we had Arya yesterday. Actually, I was playing with her while Michael was doing the book club, and it was funny because actually her dad had forgot to tell me he was off, and he and I both were in line at the school, and so I picked her up, and then before I pulled out, I was getting her locked into her seatbelt, and they said, "Oh, somebody else is in line asking for Arya Shaw," and so I knew that it was Ryan, and I called him. And when Arya heard, he said, he was off. And I said, well, I'll pull over and, we can exchange her into your car. And she goes, no, I want to go with Jeanie. So I took her to the park and we played for a while. And she is a jewel. She keeps us rocking. And we bought her, pay attention to the books and things that you get, especially coming up on Christmas time. And she had picked out a book, How Dinosaurs Learned to Be Kind. And Michael was going to read it to her and got just a page or two in, and it was terrible messages that they were giving. They started off just naming page after page after page of things that the dinosaur did that was not loving, and eventually got to how to be loving, but those are just terrible thoughts to put in a little mind, and so we actually sent the book back. So if you have little ones, and you're thinking of ordering them a book, make sure what kind of book it is before you actually give it to them. And Michael has joined us now, so I'm going to say welcome, Michael.
My apologies, sweetie. Thank you for holding up things. I lost track of time out working on the compost pile. So, in any event, yeah, that book was just amazing. Literally 2/3 of the book was about what, did the dinosaur hide, Grandpa's glasses? Did the dinosaur splash his little brother? Did every terrible thing a kid could do, every, thing that's out of order. And then there were about 3 pages of, well, here's what you do. And, that's kind of the game of the world is, it's interesting in the Aramaic language, the word discipline has nothing to do with beating a little kid up. The word discipline comes from the root disciple. It means properly taught. And language is a way that meanings are conveyed. It's so powerful. It was even acknowledged by Vladimir Lenin. Here's a guy who probably has responsibility for more deaths on planet Earth than any human being in history, more murders. And he said, if you want to destroy culture, change the meaning of its words. Get people locked into negative meanings. Tell them you're doing the right thing. It's just like a certain politician recently literally said, don't believe your eyes. I mean, it's so 1984. It's just amazing. And, everything is reversed. And so waking up to the truth of who we are as human beings and making sure especially that the little ones are disciplined, properly taught, got nothing to do with being beat up, but rather to understand how the life and alignment and expression of a human being, a life based in love, functions. How to stand in that stead. And it doesn't come from words that are about what you don't want to do. Had the opportunity to share some space with a woman and her young daughter just a couple of days ago. And it was appalling. I was in their presence for about half an hour. A really sweet little, about 3. And every instruction she gave the child, there was a dog there, there were some other kids there, and every instruction she gave the child was why she didn't want her to do what she didn't want her to do. Don't do that or you'll break it. Don't do that or it'll make a mess. Don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. And you listen to the culture, how many people, I don't ever want to be in a relationship with somebody like that again. I'm never going to have a relationship with an abuser again. I'm never. And regulatory speech, this is part of our laws of living course. Regulatory speech is literally how the frequency of words organizes your physiology, your cellular chemistry, your emotions, your creative expression. and it comes out in your words. And if you're always expressing about how you're really clear about what you don't want, then guess what you're creating? You're creating exactly what you don't want because you put it into the world of frequency. So if I say don't think about the color of your car, notice what fires in brain cells. Something about the color of your car. Oh, I don't ever want to be in a relationship with a hater again. So what vibration, if you recognize energetically that every thought we think is an energy, that's motion, and that motion creates an energy wave, who gets called in when someone's really emphatic about, well, I never want to be in a relationship with a hater again? Guess who's coming to join the fray? The vibration, the energetic dynamic of the words just sent out a message to resonate and attract haters. And this is one of the reasons why people come to the conclusion, well, the whole world is like that. It's because that's all they see, because they only see themselves reflected in the world. So definitely cleaning up one's regulatory speech is a key in the process. And when you look at, you'll notice in step 3 in the worksheet where we're asking you to look at the goal that's driving your perception, you'll notice it says the constructive result that I want. Sometimes people have difficulty finding the goal that they're working toward. The easy way to establish what the goal is in any worksheet that you're doing, and you'll notice if I do that with somebody on the radio show, somebody calls in and say, what's your goal? Oh, well, I don't know. I just don't want anybody to abuse me. Or, yeah, but what do you want? Well, I don't want anybody that'll abuse me. Yes, but what do you want? Well, I already told you. I don't want people to abuse me anymore. Isn't it interesting that the mind that's stuck in that can't think? I want to be treated lovingly, gently, and with respect in people's thoughts, words, and actions, and whether I'm in their presence or not. That's what I want. So you'll notice that when I'm doing a worksheet with someone, if I'm not sure what my goal is, I don't know what my goal is, and my question is simple. Well, looking at the situation, what's the ideal result? If you could say this is exactly how you want it to turn out, what would your words be? There's your goal. Simple. But people go, oh, I don't know. And it's because the mind has been so structured with what we don't want, what we're trying to avoid. So watching one's own speech, go way back, and we hear in ancient literature, Shakespeare says, my words fly up, my thoughts remain below. The unconscious. Yeshua, 2,000 years ago, put such an emphasis there, and that's the root of our Laws of Living course. Yeshua said the power of life and death is in our words. What do you suppose are the words of death, and what do you suppose are the words of life? I don't want a hater in my world. I want someone who will treat me lovingly, gently, and with respect. Which ones represent life and which ones represent death? And most people's language is drawing them and driving them and creating death with just about every word coming out of their mouths. You listen when the guys or the girls get together in the coffee or the beer clutch. What are they all talking about? Oh, what's wrong with them? It's really a powerful piece of information to have, that the constructs of our mind, which we use words to describe, always tell us first and foremost about the content of our minds. So when one wakes up to, oh, I see I'm a creator, and if I think about what I don't want, I'll get it. And so now I'm going to focus on only what I do want. And guess what that means? That means you have to restructure your whole speech system. I mean, it's a major piece of work to come out of a culture that's all about what they don't want and restructure the language to even be able to conceive of or start to think about what they do want. And it's interesting, you know, with Arya, she's only 5, and we work to keep the speech constructive, and sometimes I have to stop in what I'm saying and get conscious about my own words, because I came up in a culture that was the culture. And so to always be referring to and looking at what you do want, and then to teach the little ones, you know, we talk to Arya, and if she gets into upset, we'll guide her into looking at what it is that you want. Notice that a minute ago you were really happy and bubbly and delighted. And now that you've decided on a goal and you're not having your goal met, you go into upset. Guess what? That upset's an energy inside of you, sweetie. And you know what? You can remove it. You can get rid of it. You don't have to get lost in it. We've been so blessed. I mean, it was, you know, she's 5 now. We've taken care of her from day one. Actually, first 3 months, the kids both had maternity leave, so we didn't see much of her. And there's never been anything that even resembles the terrible twos. Jeanie was sharing with me yesterday, I don't know, did she say anything about that she had taken Arya to the park and it was time to go? And it was the first time. And, you know, we're working with her mom and dad with the language as well, although we have to be careful. The first time yesterday when Jeanie said it's time to go, she literally ran off. It's like, what's going on here, sweetie? What are you doing? We agreed it was time to go, right? Not a dress down, just discipline, properly taught. A conversation in words about what we want to create together rather than what we don't want to create together. You know, I think back, we've had her, I don't know, I guess anywhere from maybe 15 to 30 hours a week for 5 years. And aside from, you know, she'd actually fall and hurt herself, really hurt herself. I maybe heard her cry a total of 2 hours. And her conversation generally, and, you know, there are learning opportunities. She's part of our family system too. She's an expression of generations and generations and generations of speech. But when you really build the brain cells for that and start listening to people's speech, it's mind-boggling. And then you start looking at what people are living with, and they're living with an exact analog of their speech, because that's how creatorship works. So in arenas where you have challenges, gee, I don't even know how to language that. There's where your worksheet processes are. The reason why it's difficult to language the constructive result is because there's so much emotional energy and so many thought disorders around the negative result. That's why it's difficult to come up with what's the constructive result. What is it I really want to head for? So it's all a process, and we are here to enhance the process. We are here to support the process. We are here to learn ourselves on deeper and deeper levels on an ongoing basis, and we do it every day. We get pieces of our own puzzles. We get to look at our own stuff over and over. Sometimes as a result, and thank you, of someone calling in and resonating it for us. And our commitment is to keep raising the bar into higher and higher states of acknowledging, languaging what is desired and forgiving as to what is not desired. Thoughts for you, Jeanie?
I just thought of two things that she did yesterday that, it just proves that, she's learning and she knows. Michael had gotten her some interactive books where the one we were working on, there were animals that were made out of food, and you had to spell the name of the animal, and she did really well with that. And then it had a space for you to draw your own, and so she started to draw one, and she goes, "Oh, we'll make this out of whipped cream." She goes, "Oh, no, Papa might see it. We're not going to use whipped cream." So, she's...
Because of sugar and whipped cream. And I have an ongoing conversation with Arya about sugar. Her mom, her relative, without mentioning names, relatives are addicted to sugar themselves, and so just stuff it down her throat. And so it's an interesting ongoing conversation, but I had to laugh when she said, "Oh, Papa's going to see it. We're not going to use whipped cream, to shape an animal out of food." I said, "No, we're not going to do that."
Yeah, and then we have found a marshmallow that it's still not the healthiest, but it's healthier than the standard marshmallow that you get. And so when she comes over, one of the first things she wants is 2 of our marshmallows. And I only had 1 yesterday, and I gave it to her. And she goes, "Do you have more?" And I said, "No, we're out." And she goes, "Well, it's a good thing I'm not coming tomorrow." It's hilarious how her little mind thinks.
It is. It's pretty awesome. And I have a water jug. It's a small portable water unit, and it injects hydrogen into the water. Basically, when you drink hydrogen water, you're drinking antioxidants. So she caught on to this hydrogen water, and we've got a water dispenser downstairs, and Jeanie will say, "Oh, you want some water?" And she'll say, "Oh, no, I drink Papa's water." And she'll come upstairs and get hydrogen water. It's hilarious. So learning, oh, golly, I wish that as a kid, the upbringing had been based in living a life of creatorship, conscious creatorship, and honoring, acknowledging, interacting consciously with each other. So we're committed to giving her a leg up, an education that gives her the opportunity, and it'll just, one of the things that I often think about when I watch her expression now at 5 is, oh my God, to watch her. What's she going to do in the world? What's it going to be like being around her at 25? Because she's already just so conscious and so, moving in the direction. Would have been a nice gift to have had as a kid, but oh well. So Miss Jeanie, go ahead.
I was just going to say something else, and I didn't tell you about this. We were talking about, I don't even know what brought up The Lion King. And she asked me if I had seen the movie, and I said yes. And she said, that was terrible when I can't remember his name, the bad lion.
Mufasa.
Let go of the dad lion, and the dad lion got killed. And she said, but did you notice later in the movie that the dad lion was up in the clouds and looking down? And I said, yeah. I said, that's, people change frequencies. And I said, just like G-Pop, he left his body here. But I said, now he's, up in the clouds. And so, it's pretty cool how even movies that she watches, she catches little things like that.
I don't remember the name of the film that we took her to back, it's probably, 6 months ago, maybe more. And there was a kid's movie out. It was one of the Minions or something like that.
It was it was What Pets Do When the People Are Gone or something like that.
Oh, right.
I think it was called Pets.
And it was cute the first few minutes, and then it started to get into viciousness. These, pets are talking there, and they're getting vicious with her. And she's like, this isn't good. I don't want to watch this. And so we left. Like, okay, you got it, girl. So.
Yeah. And we have a hand up.
Well, let's say hello to the hand.
All right. I think it's Miss Celinda, 541. You're on the air.
Yes, it is.
Well, welcome, young lady. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. In the middle of processing, and that feels good, and I'm very happy about learning what I've been learning from both of your radio shows. Thank you.
Awesome. How can we support you today?
Well, you mentioned something about books for Arya, if we want to send a book for her Christmas present. And I wonder if she's familiar with the Ranger Rick books.
I'm not, so I don't,
I'm not
as far as I
familiar
know,
with
she
it.
is, and I don't think her parents have introduced her. Are they
Well,
an
there's
outdoor
a Ranger,
series?
Yeah, a nature series, basically. And
Oh, cool.
It's Ranger Rick from the National Wildlife Federation. And I happened to pick up on the free shelf of our local secondhand store zoo books, Ranger Rick zoo books. And the fish that climbs trees, a beetle that boils liquid. There's the zoo books, The Reason Rhinos Are Bad-Tempered, The Truth About Armor, quote-unquote armor. And, so I thought I'd send them, but I wanted to make sure that they were okay before, that you would peruse them first. I was thinking about just sending them on.
Sounds awesome. I think, she really loves the outdoors, and so that would be cool.
I'll just slip them in the mail for her. And Jeanie, as soon as I find out from you whether she's interested in my Japan story from being a little girl, I'll take your cue, as you mentioned. I'll take your cue and send some more.
Yeah, it's kind of, we do sort of like the Montessori where they let the child lead, and like she was really interested into these eggs that you crack open and there's a dinosaur in it, and she loved them, and we got her a set that had 12. She cracked open one, and she's not been interested in doing it again since then. So the other 11 are sitting here, and when she gets interested again, it'll be here for her.
Was that probably 6 weeks ago? She just did one.
Yeah, that's the way I feel about the pictures exactly. If she's ready, or when she's ready, or if she's not ready, if she's not interested, it doesn't matter. I just wanted to support her any way I could.
Cool. Well, that's awesome. We would much appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep. So I'll just wait for your cue to tell me what to do, Jeanie. If you can just text, that would be perfect.
Okay. I'll do it.
And I will send the e-books off to you so you can look through them and decide whether I think they are very positive, I think, and trying to understand the animals rather than label them, and learning. It's like learning to appreciate them rather than to fear them. So I think it'll be wonderful.
Sounds perfect.
All right. Thank you.
Sounds exactly like what she'll love. All right. Appreciate
it.
Thank you.
I do want to say, I did want to share, please keep talking along the things you're talking. They're just exactly what the doctor has ordered for me, that inner physician. So go for it.
Sweet.
Right.
Well, we're here to support. So.
All right. Contributions coming.
All right. Mucho gusto.
All right.
Okay. Take care.
Bye now.
Have a blessed one. All right.
Uh-huh.
So we got about 30 minutes left. 30 minutes of conversation about these tools can just change somebody's life. Maybe yours if you're the one who calls in with a question, or maybe somebody who's listening. Maybe you call in and share a change. I really appreciated what Terry was saying yesterday when he called and sharing what had impacted him, because, people who aren't aware that that kind of shift, that kind of impact is possible, hear it and bingo, all of a sudden you see those kinds of changes taking place. So it's pretty cool. And if you're out there in listener land and you're listening on one of those stations where we can't see you, our call-in number is 563-999-3581, 563-999-3581. If you call that number, you're listening directly to the show. And then if you push 1, we'll be having a conversation. So we would love to hear from you. What's on your mind? And one of the things that we'll invite everybody to do as a community that we join and share in tapping into that love exchange exercise, and especially for all the trauma that's happening in the Middle East right now, that whole circumstance between Hamas, the Palestinians, Israelis, just holding a space for healing, extending love in your direction, being with every other person who's part of this community. We'll take the time to tap in and extend that presence of love. Make it available on a global scale. That's what we're here to do. You know, there are a lot of crazy things happening in the culture politically. You know, the suffering that's going on for people who are fighting for their political lives, for their spiritual lives, for their financial lives, you know, whatever, insanities they've done, holding the space for healing, extending love in that direction. Miss Jeanie, you started to say something, sweetie?
You're just talking about the things going on over in Palestine, Israel, and it made me think of a movie. It's actually a 2012 movie called The Other Son, and it's two young men, one's Israeli and one's Palestinian, and they discovered that they were accidentally switched at birth. And so the Palestinian was raised by the Israeli family and vice versa. And when they find out that they were switched and that they really belong to the other group, and how they get together and they actually become friends, and the struggles that, of course, the mothers on both sides want to meet their, not that they want to give up the son they've raised for 18 years, but they want to meet their birth son and just get to know him. And the fathers especially have such issues because of the differences that are going on between the nations. And so it's pretty interesting. If you haven't seen it, it's called The Other Son.
Yeah, it's powerful. And of course, it's not anything to do with the issues really going on between the nations. It's the issues that the individuals themselves are carrying inside of them, unwilling to be responsible, and projection. We live in a world where virtually everybody believes the only reason they're upset is because of something out there that's happening. And the truth is, if you're upset, the only reason you're upset is because there's upset in you. And if you want to be done with upset, then start to apply forgiveness to your upset. That's how you work through those things. And so, definitely bringing responsibility back home is always a key in the process of healing. There was someone yesterday, we did the Hear My Voice book club, and there's a young lady who asked the question about a particular thing in life, and what do I do about that? And each show that we've done, the same question's been asked, and each show, when the question is asked, the answer is the same. You take the tools you've got, you put them to work. It amazes me over the years how many times I'll have somebody who'll come to me or on the radio show and, I've got this going on and I have all this upset and I need some help, I need some support. It's like, okay, so my first question is usually, well, how many worksheets have you done on that issue? Well, I haven't actually done anything about it yet. Oh, okay. But you're coming to somebody else to be supported in repairing it. Okay. So my input, my invitation is put the tools to work in your life. Make them so that they are first nature. They're just your automatic first response. When you do, then you step into new levels of power each time you use them. It's not knowing about the tools. I love how Gandhi, it wasn't much different back the 70, 80 years ago. And one thing Gandhi used to say was, if you want potatoes, you've got to use the hoe. Simple ABC. You want healing? You have to use the tools for healing. You can't sit around and whine about what you don't want and expect it to change. And there are healing tools that will bring you into direct contact with what it is inside of you that needs to be dealt with. And as you do that, those dynamics change. And we're here to support that change. That's what it's all about. That's what we're here for. So you're out there in listener land. What's going on in your mind? What's going on in your world? How can we support you? What's happening? Call-in number 563-999-3581.
Belinda has her hand up again. Welcome
awesome.
back.
Let's say hello.
You just said something that triggered something for me. I want to share it with you. When I was walking the Born Again walk, I remember running across just a little piece of message in one of my studies that for the Jewish mind, and I would say probably for the Aramaic mind as well, the word to know was always related to actual experience. For example, in the New Testament, it was said that in the Protestant New Testament, it was said, and Joseph knew not Mary until after Jesus was born. In the Catholic one, of course, it probably said, and Joseph never knew Mary, but whatever, because knowing that other person, the spouse, meant you were having sexual relations with them. And it was an experiential knowing, body knowing, emotion knowing, head knowing. But if I say no in the Western culture, all I'm saying is I believe. And I think understanding or trust, which is part of understanding, I would just guess, this is how I use it as regulatory speech, would be my heart knowing. So head knowing is believing, banking on that this information is so, what you call the evidence. And for me, knowing means to have a personal experience with. I can imagine that's why the wisest teachers in any faith will say, I know nothing. So I thought I'd share that with you. That was very helpful, and I realized that I have been groping my way towards knowing my actuality all of my life, and I was lamenting being this quote-unquote old, and then I thought, well, maybe I'm really a fast learner, not a slow learner. If I get it this time around, I would be very pleased with myself. I love it.
And that would be very appropriate because, I don't remember who it was. Somebody somewhere back there in antiquity wrote that 100 million people live and die every century and never even know that they've lived.
Mm-hmm. I've never even experienced life.
Yep. Yeah, just an unfolding set of programs rather than an actual human life. Yeshua called those who just play out the programs the dead who bury the dead and the blind who lead the blind.
Which is
his invitation is to wake up.
Precisely what you were saying when you say, I don't want. Very true. Thank you for weaving that all together.
Sweet. Well, what else is exciting in your world?
Isn't that enough for right now? I think it's really exciting.
That's a good start. Sure. Okay. Okay, we won't push you.
One foot in front of the other. One heartbeat in front of the other, one breath in front of the other. There you go.
All right.
Blessing.
Awesome. Well, you have a blessed one. All right. Take care. Bye-bye. So if you're out there in listening lane, come on, push one. Let's have a conversation, especially if we haven't talked to you for a long time, or maybe we've never talked to you. And, you know, you don't have to give me your actual name. If you want to call yourself Joe or Harry or Mary, it doesn't matter. But say hello. Push one. Just about your experience. What's happening in your world? How can we support you? Is there anything we can do to support you? Five 563-999-3581. Well, everybody's so quiet today. What's happening?
We have a hand up, and I believe this is Miss Roma. We haven't heard from her in a while. 808.
Oh, welcome. Aloha.
Hi. Oh, well, good to hear your voice, your friendly voices. My goodness. Oh,
How do you be?
well,
What's exciting?
Well, I woke up early this morning, and I like to listen to the BBC. Well, BBC's over by 5, and so I was listening to local radio this morning. It was a different announcer than it normally is, and he announced that there have been some more fires on. So that kind of confirms my intuitive theory.
I didn't quite hear you. That there had been what?
Fires, more fires in Maui.
More of them?
Somebody is setting fires here. I think I shared with you at another last week or 2 weeks ago that we had a pyromaniac who was caught and jailed about 5 years ago. So, yeah, took me a long time to figure out that I should press one because I mean, you don't know what to do with this information, with this reality, except just be really conscious and aware.
Well, tapping into and holding to that active presence of love is a key piece in the puzzle.
Yeah.
So we'll certainly join you in doing that and holding a space of safety for especially the island of Maui. It's horrendous to hear some of the stuff that's gone down there.
Tapping into that love, can occur on several different dimensions. It can occur mentally, emotionally, and physically. And I think I have a preference for consciously choosing to make sure that the cells in my body are radiating that love. Yeah.
It's important stuff.
Yeah. I feel grief that this exquisite, beautiful place is, I was just feeling like we were recovering from it until I heard that news broadcast this morning. Gosh darn it. Wow. Well, I hope they...
Next layer of forgiving grief.
What'd you say? About
Next
grief?
layer of forgiving grief.
And fear. I mean...
Definitely a big part of it.
Yeah. Oh. And grief.
So we hold the space for the healing of fear and grief.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Breathing with you.
Thank you.
Notice where your body's tightening up. Notice where your face is tightening up. Let it soften and breathe into it.
You know, it's a weird thing because the facial expression of grief is very connected to the facial expression of joy. I just witnessed that. It's so strange. When you said that, I went there, and right underneath that grief was the joy. So that's kind of odd. I'm always trying to make meaning out of everything. Well,
maybe
weird.
Maybe underneath everything is that presence of joy, and when we're tapped into it, then joy is going to be the expression, even if things aren't going the way we want them to be going in the world.
Yeah, it's very strange. My body just wants to laugh and be happy. That's it.
You should probably listen to that. Sounds like good advice.
What's good advice?
To listen to your body.
Yeah.
To bring happiness, to bring joy into the experience, whatever the experience is.
Well, you know, I get a lot of mail, and some of the mail I get is from some of the native Hawaiian cultures in the United States, and I have a great-great-grandmother who was a Choctaw, I think, Indian, and I for some reason or other I've been tuning into that kind of primal energy, and it does carry an element of joy in it, and it's a physiological sensation. Whew. Wow. I'm expanding. I can see my aura expanding. Whew. That's nice.
Maybe that's what the island needs, is more people who expand the energy of joy around them.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So I'll certainly join you from here.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Bristol, Virginia, beaming joy in your direction, the active presence of love, aimed right at your heart.
Thank you so much. Woo!
You are so welcome. And as Dr. Tim would say, deserving.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Holding space to
well,
your heart. Lots of love and blessings.
Thank you so much. Okay. Aloha, everyone.
Aloha. Take care. Bye-bye.
We have 10 minutes.
Time flies when you're having fun. You know, yesterday we were talking about some of the dynamics of the non-being mind. And I had come across a piece that Albert Einstein used to offer to people when they asked him, apparently a question Einstein got very often, especially when he would lecture at U.S. universities, was, do you believe in God? And he said that he believed in the God of Spinoza. We don't usually hear his first name, Baruch de Spinoza. He was a Dutch philosopher. And here's what Spinoza wrote about the Creator. And his offering is, God would say, so here's God's lecture to us. Stop praying. What I want you to do is go out into the world and enjoy your life. I want you to sing, have fun, and enjoy everything I've made for you. Stop going into those dark, cold temples that you built yourself and saying they're my house. My house is in the mountains, in the woods, the rivers, the lakes, and the beaches. That's where I live, and there I express my love for you. Stop blaming me for your miserable life. I never told you there was anything wrong with you, or that you were a sinner, or that your sexuality was a bad thing. Sex is a gift I gave you, with which you can express your love, your ecstasy, and your joy. So don't blame me for everything they made you believe. Stop reading alleged sacred scriptures that have nothing to do with me. If you can't read me in the sunrise, in a landscape, in the look of your friends or your son's eyes, you sure won't find me in a book. Stop asking me, will you tell me how to do my job? Scared of me. I do not judge you or criticize you, nor get angry or bothered. I am pure love. Stop asking for forgiveness. There's nothing to forgive. If I made you, I filled you with passions, limitations, pleasures, feelings, needs, inconsistencies, free will. How can I blame you if you respond to something that I put in you? How can I punish you for being the way you are? If I'm the one who made you, do you think I could create a place to burn you and all of my children who behave badly? Burn you there for the rest of eternity? What kind of God would do that? Respect your peers and don't do what you don't want done to you for yourself. All I ask is that you pay attention in your life. That alertness is your guide. My beloved, this is not a test, not a step on the way, not a rehearsal, not a prelude to paradise. This life is the only thing here and now, and it is all you need. I have set you absolutely free, no prizes or punishments, no sins or virtues. None carries a marker. No one keeps a record. You are absolutely free to create your life, heaven or hell. I can't tell you if there's anything after this life, but I can give you a tip. Live as if there is not. As if this is your only chance to enjoy, to love, to exist. So if there is nothing after, then you'll have enjoyed the opportunity I gave you. And if there is, rest assured that I won't ask you if you behaved rightly or wrongly. I'll ask, did you like it? Did you have fun? What did you enjoy the most? What did you learn? Stop believing in me. Believing is assuming, guessing, imagining. I don't want you to believe in me. I want you to believe in you. I want you to feel me in you when you kiss your beloved, when you tuck your little girl into bed, when you caress your dog, when you bathe in the sea. Stop praising me. What kind of egomaniac do you think I am? I'm bored of being praised. I'm tired of being thanked. Feeling grateful, prove it by taking care of yourself, your health, your relationship, your world, your neighbors. Express your joy. That's the way to praise me. Stop complicating things and repeating as a parakeet what you've been taught about me. What do you need? More miracles for? So many explanations? The only thing for sure is that you're here, that you're alive, And this world is full of wonders. Description, Baruch. And so often the so-called authorities have driven people into the ground with their fear and their condemnation, their punishing fantasies, their own human fantasies projected into their brain's image of God. If in fact the ancient scriptures are correct and the Creator is love, then you have nothing to be concerned about. So maybe today's a day to make a shift. Maybe today is a day to take your life to a new level, to a new place, to a new opening. If it is, then we're here to support you in that. And if it's not, then we're here to support you opening and recognizing what the possible is. Knowing who you are as an individual, knowing that you are the active presence of love, is all you need to know to go out and function like it and throw off chains. Forgive any of those chains that have been wrapped around you that would tell you something untrue about yourself. Remember that if you haven't engaged in the forgiveness process yet, you can go to your app store on your phone and type in the words Heartland Aramaic Forgiveness. You'll find the world's only forgiveness app, and there you can carry out the whole process of forgiveness, learn everything we've got. There are links to the website, to different articles. You can ask questions. You'll get answers. You can find that material on our website, whyagain.org. You can find dozens and dozens of videos on our YouTube channel. If you just go to YouTube and type in Michael Ryce, M-I-C-H-A-E-L-R-Y-C-E, in a YouTube search bar, you find lots of videos. If you go to our website and click on the microphone in the middle of the page, drill down and you'll find well over 4,000 hours of conversations about the forgiveness process from this radio show. And we join you in having the best year yet of your eternal life and recognizing that that's a gift that each of us has the right to bring to the world. Thanks for joining us.